Hello everyone, this is Steven from the Even Steven channel, and today we have a slightly different kind of comparison video. I've done a couple videos on my Glock 19. Still like it. It's going to stay in the collection. And I've done a couple of videos on my Sig P250. Still like it. It's going to stay in the collection. And these are similar size guns. The Sig P250 with its large grip module is probably just a little bit bigger than the Glock 19, but they're similar guns. They're both 9mm semi-automatic polymer framed handguns. This is a hammer fired. This is a striker fired gun. When I did my original video on the Sig P250, I was using a different slide. Actually, it's right over here. I guess I can grab it. I was using the 357 Sig slide, and in that video, my initial review of the P250, I wasn't showing particularly good accuracy out of that gun. Oh, I think I scratched this. Dang. Because the the 357 Sig cartridge is a little more powerful, and I really hadn't been practicing with the gun, so my targets weren't all that great. However, in that video, I did mention I just gotten a 9mm slide and barrel that I could pop right on here. So now I have this gun and this gun. Now they're in the same caliber, both 9mm. And I wanted to compare the practical accuracy of the two guns. I wanted to see if I could shoot a Sig P250 as well as a Glock 19. Now, why would that be such a achievement? Well, one of the things about the Sig P250 is it has this long double action only trigger. I find it to be very light and smooth. However, it's pretty long. And it stacks a little bit at the end there. A little bit of stack in there. But I think it's very serviceable. And the Glock 19 is kind of a standard. It just is. There might be some guns you think are ergonomically better or maybe a little more accurate, but it is a standard. And without a doubt, that trigger is going to be faster than a Sig P250. I'm going to do that without the magazine in. All the way out, all the way back. All the way out, all the way back. So, if it was just a matter of speed, we're going to give it to the Glock. But what about practical accuracy? Taking your time, slow fire at 25 yards. How does the Sig P250 compare to the Glock 19? And I'm going to tell you, pretty well. So I'm going to start with the Sig P250. And this is 25 yards, standing, unsupported. Now keep in mind this, I was aiming here, and at 25 yards this gun was printing like over 6 inches high. So the sights weren't particularly well regulated. They were shooting high, which I think is better than shooting low. If it shoots high, then you just got to adjust a little bit. It's easier to compensate in my opinion. But this is 25 yards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is honestly one of the tightest groups I can remember shooting a handgun 25 yards. I think that's pretty great. I don't want to be too full of myself, but 25 yards with any handgun, that's good. What is that? It's like 2 or 3 inches, standing unsupported. Keep in mind I was using this Tula ammo, so both guns were using the Tula ammo. That's just what I had available. So 2 guns in the same cartridge, 2 guns in the same caliber, firing the same ammo with the same shooter on the same day. Try and make it as fair as possible. And this is the Glock 19. I wrote down Glock 25 yards first try. And that's still a very respectable group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And to be fair, it's technically on target better. It's all on this black area. But it's not quite as tight as my Sig P250. It's like, all right. So, you know, first round, Sig P250 wins. Now, for whatever reason, I happen to have run out of these targets, and I think the moral of the story is going to be that if you want to shoot better and shoot tighter groups, shoot at smaller targets. Because I switched to bigger targets, and it seems like the groups spread out. So now I'm going to go second try here. Sig P250 second try, still 25 yards. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think one just went real low. Where'd it go? Oh no, okay, we got 5 here. Yeah. One on top. 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 shots, 25 yards. Yeah, still pretty good. Another 5-shot group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one just was not as good. And I don't know if I just had a fluke that string, or if because I'm shooting at a larger target, my group size is actually opening up. Who knows? Who knows? Glock 19, 25 yards, second try. You got here 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty tight. Pretty tight. 25 yards. However, I think I got one just going off randomly. Maybe I jerked the trigger, just didn't have good trigger control, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and one all the way down there. Dismissing that, if I can get a mulligan on that, that's a really nice group. In fact, that's probably tighter than the first shot I had with the P250. And this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then kind of just one on the bottom. Same kind of thing. 4 really relatively tight ones, then one just kind of flying off. So I did one more group with the Glock 19 because I felt like I might not have been giving it a fair shake. I felt like maybe my trigger presses weren't that great. I was like, let me just give that another try because I hadn't been shooting the Glock 19 a lot that day. I was shooting the Sig P250 a lot. So let me take my time, really buckle down. And Glock 19, 25 yards, and for whatever reason I just decided to put all 10 on this target right here. So got 1, 2, 3, let's go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it's alright. It's alright. So what can we tell from these targets in this my little exercise today? Well, I would say that a gun like the Sig P250 in the right hands, with someone who's practiced with it, can be as accurate as any other combat handgun. Glocks, Sigs, Berettas, H&Ks. The Sig P250, if you do your job, it will do its job. But I said before in my first video, you got to practice a little bit. And maybe practice a little more and to a higher degree with this gun than you might have to do with this gun. Because, a lot of these striker fire guns you can kind of just pick up and shoot, not think about it as much. And that's a good thing. But this Sig P250 just takes a little bit more practice. But if you're proficient with that trigger, I think it can deliver the goods. And yes, I remain one of like the 8 people on the internet that like the Sig P250, so I'll take that title. And both guns, accurate, reliable, durable, just whichever one you like. And I happen to like these two, and they're going to stay in the collection for now. So this is Steven from the Even Steven channel. Please do all that like, share, and subscribing. At this point, while I'm making this video, I have like 979 subscribers. So if I can get to 1,000, that'd be really nice, because at 1,000 you actually start getting ad revenue money, which would be great. So please subscribe. And I will see you next time. Thank you, and goodbye.